these people take hold of our freedom. It's not acceptable. When Londoners go to Corsica, and if they're used to have cocaine, or I don't know, these new pills, I don't even know their names, they want to have them when they're on holiday too. So dealers are there too, just to talk about drugs. Tourists also attract the fact that there is drugs somewhere. Gangs have different activities. And drugs is one of them, yes. Waste is another, and building sites are another one. Building is a big industry in which gangs and mafia is involved. The thing is that the state there should be tougher too, because there is another association in Corsica that tracks and that follows closely all the building permits that are wrongfully obtained. Okay, the state should be much more present there. Okay, that's one of the things where the state could do something, and be more strict and more respectful of the rules. As these people are not always specialists, you know, they might build quickly and badly, or not respecting, you know, labor legislation or whatever. We should inspire ourselves from the Italian legislation. I recently had the opportunity to talk with an academic, an Italian academic who specializes in these issues. And he was telling me that because Italian legislation became tougher, now the mafia is going elsewhere, everywhere in Europe. So it's urgent for all European countries to be tougher against these people. In the village where I live, which is called Cargès, 50 kilometers north of Ajaccio on the west coast, a young guy I had known for all his life. I had known him when he was very young. He owned a beach restaurant and bar, and he was murdered. I knew people were killed each other in the mafia. We didn't call it mafia. I don't know which word I should use, because at the time we didn't call it mafia. But I never realized it could happen to anyone. This guy was just a normal entrepreneur, and he was killed. I mean, the case hasn't been solved yet. And so it was a trigger for me to say, well, you can't just act as if nothing had never happened. I mean, as if it was something out of your reach or out of your environment. So that's what triggered my implication. Yes. Maxime Souzini, yes. No one has been arrested regarding his murder. How this actually could happen to just someone who wants to open a business and Probably. That's my guess. Okay, I'm no police officer, but my guess, he had a very popular restaurant among young people. So there were parties there in the summer, etc. But he refused that drugs be sold there. And so drug dealers or gangs or whatever you want to call them said, okay, this guy doesn't want it, we'll solve it another way. I don't think it's a risky activity because actually we are known, we raise our voices. So no, that protects us, on the contrary. I really can't speak about that case because I just heard that fact. He's been kidnapped and then released. I don't know if he's been interviewed by the police and if he has given any detail on what has happened. But it is absolutely no modus operandi of, usual. I never heard that such case happen in Corsica. And I'm not trying to hide the truth about what I told you, but it mostly involves people living on a yearly basis in Corsica. Everything I told you about intimidation, omerta being the Italian term meaning that you don't dare to speak out because you fear repercussions, and that does not involve tourism. I don't know very much about the Mexican situation, but think a little bit. If you're a drug dealer, you want to do your business, and you're not going to frighten people who come and who are your potential buyers. Yeah. I think reasoning is a bit. I would say to them, these people take hold of our freedom. If you're not free to speak out when you see something wrong, or when you're not free to be a jury in a trial, if you're not free to enter into a trade or into a business, it's not acceptable.